What's up, everybody? Welcome to the official Week 1 game of the week. And we are here for the MBA National Dex format. And I have two games here that I'm trying to debate back and forth, which, yes, I have spoiled the winners, which is unfortunate. But I'm looking back and forth in terms of which game is game of the week because these are my two top tier games. And I'm gonna say this right now, unless I do something really cool in my games, guys, I'm not gonna give myself game of the week. I feel like that is cheating to not only myself, but I feel like that's cheating to all the other people that deserve game of the week and stuff like that. So unless I do something in the games that makes me look really proud and how I played and everything like that, I'll definitely put myself in game of the week at one point, maybe. Who knows? But until then, I'm going to be fair to all the other coaches and give everyone else the fair chance to show that their games were way more better and way more fun to enjoy and watch in terms of that. So that's the whole way I'm going to go with this. So, with that being said, let's get into the two games that I'm debating between which are game of the week. The first game here is by Miklas, and I'm butchering that name every time. I'm sorry. The I Am the Sorrow. This was definitely a very back and forth game. This thing was about predictions, this and that. It was very hard hitting, very fun to watch. And then we had the game between KR Brab and Gur here in a very unique matchup, to say the least. Now, the one thing that differentiates from these games that there was actually some purpose to the sets in one game, and there was strategy and actual just going back and forth formatting in this one. So, I'm going to show both games here, and I will pick mine, but let me know in the comment section below, potentially, which did you think was game of the week? I am going to show both games here, and I think I will do on normal speed just to kind of. So we're gonna do first do the game that I liked personally for the actual strategy here with. So let's first kick it off here with KRB and Gur here. We're gonna watch this one here. Now, the one thing we realized here is that KR here lost his Cinderace, which was a big breaker for his team, barring the Darm. The Life Orb Lando comes in, obviously. The Cobbleberry prep was really good prep from the Latios. Obviously, he's going to hard out into the Mandibuzz. And a really good prediction by KR there to go for the Poison Jab to get some damage off on the Mandibuzz. And now him going for the knockoff here with his Zero, which is a good read right there. And another good play by Gearbrain, double knockoff, just to counter the Zero Aura. So really good bring at his end right there. And his positioning right now, here comes the Mega Beedrill, which is now in for free. Rocks are up, which is definitely going to make this team annoying, but he has ways to get rid of them. We see the Rocky Helmet, though, from the Crate Daily, which is very interesting. He goes with Stonage and is very unfortunately going to miss. That would, I believe, probably based on the roll, could have been a dead Latios. But in comes Thunder Wave here, as we're actually going to see Roost Thunder Wave on the Latios, which is very interesting. And we are going to see yet another Stone Edge miss, which is very unfortunate. Definitely could be playing to a big factor to this matchup here. But he's going to go ahead and click Ice Beam here. He's going to make the smart read and thinking of Sucker Punch, and Sucker Punch does come off. And now KR making the best of the worst situation, trying to get a poison, try to get damage off on this Mandibuzz. Does decide to switch out and does catch the Roost, which is really good because now he knows he has potentially a free Stone Edge here on something, as he does go for the recover here, which is another smart play on his end, as he's going to go right back into the Skunk Tank here. And now this Latios again is at 50-50. And unfortunately, and KR does make a bit of a good prediction here. He does go for the Swirlix and is going to click Toxic there. So now that Manibus is on a timer, which is really nice. In comes Darm. Darm gets to click Substitute again. And this man literally had just enough HP and pulls off the Belly Drum Select Darm with the Unova form of Darm. And from this point, this game is over, and Darm is going to pick up 6 kills in week 1 and definitely take kill leader, which I'm happy with. I mean, I would have loved Spectre to still be up there, but Darm definitely earned kill leader for this week. And the positioning was really good there. I think KR did make the smart play, though, going for the Sucker Punch there because of the fact that he did not think Sub Belly Drum was going to be the set of choice for this matchup, which no one would ever think was. Like when I see sub, there's two things I can see with a Darm. It's either sub belly drum or it's sub potentially life warp 3 attacks in some way or fashion. But Gur played his Darm perfectly well. He got it positioned right. He knew that there could be a chance that, you know, the Skunk Tank could have clicked Sucker Punch, but also he probably saw the opportunity afterwards on the prediction he made to just get Darm in and click some more buttons, which he definitely was able to do and put in the work. So Darm really carrying the team this week and getting 6 KOs, and he really played the hazard removal game perfectly well. Got the right opportunity to remove the rocks, got the right chances to make sure he had free pivoting on his team for things to come in. So really overall good prep by Gear and really good play on his end. KR definitely got a little bit of unlucky in this matchup with the Stone Edge misses and the paralyzed chance there. Definitely could have maybe been slightly a different game if things went that way. It could still have been the same results potentially, but maybe lower diff. But overall, some things factor in, and that's the game of Pokemon we play. So that's that game. And now we get into this game, which is by again Sorrow and Miklas. Again, sorry if I'm butchering your name. And we're gonna watch this one here. Sorry, as my thing goes off. Oh, my eye. Here, I'll make sure that stuff can stop going off. I don't know why it's constantly being pinged right now. There we go. There's that. Oh, that's why. There's this new thing. But anyways, as you can see by the matchup, it's going back and forth. Really good, smart prediction playing on both ends of the players right here, with pivoting stuff like that. As we do find out, this Milotic is competitive Milotic, which is very interesting to see that. Um, I can as we'll pause real quick here for the second. As first, that does some damage. Um, for those who know, Milotic does have the ability competitive and Marvel Scale. Two of its actually really good abilities. I think it has a third one, but I cannot remember the top of my head. But I think it's only two. But Milotic has competitive, which if its stats are lower, it gets a +3 special attack boost in its stats. It's almost like the Defiant version of Defiant. The Defiant version of Defiant and stuff like that. And I can see why he went that route with this game, with especially having Arcanine. But I think when I look at this matchup on paper, Arcanine could have definitely been a really good Flash Fire Mon, and plus knowing that Intimidate does not affect Inner Focus Pokemon, I think he didn't want to cut his chances, and that, but instead wanted to go with something like maybe Justify, or being a fire immunity for the team, which definitely his team would have loved the fire immunity for things like the even though Mamoswine could take one, the immunity for Mamo, the immunity for Metagross, and the immunity for Rotom, which I think was definitely a very smart. Milikis has been a phenomenal player to bring the abilities that I think a lot of people aren't expecting um in that aspect. So really good prep on his end for this week. So gotta give him credit there. But this might have been a damage roll, but I'm pretty sure that was going to be a live Porygon. And then he pulls out the teleport to bring in the Mamoswine. Obviously, Scarf Mammo looks like the issue here. So he's going to go ahead and hard out as he does make the safe Earthquake play. And now, again, free pivot. Oh, he was intimidating. Never mind. I'm stupid. I didn't pay attention. But, yeah, the Intimidate right there. I think at sometimes maybe should have went for the hard Intimidate swap outs to try to get that there. But again, sometimes the Intimidate actually would act off um before happening on switches and stuff like that. So there's that. But this is some heat Metagross set right here, as he's gonna go for the Reflect, reveal Thunder Punch, and now can kind of put in some work with the team because now he brings in Incineroar and he's gonna go ahead and click Meteor Mash here, and but then luckily gets the attack rate, is gonna go for Earthquake, and this was a little bit of a questionable play, I would have to say, by Sorrow. I could understand why he wouldn't assume. Um, I can understand why he wouldn't assume that Gross was faster or anything like that in some fashion, stuff like that. Because I think a lot of people don't expect Metagross to really run speed, and if anything, it's really not speed to outspeed bulk. So he probably thought to himself, you know what? I don't think I really need to run speed for that much, and then was able to be able to deal with the Metagross The crit may or may not have mattered if he's adamant gross. I'm pretty sure a +1 crit, unless he's like a really good defensive pivoting set with his Incineroar, might have been a roll. But regardless, I still think that the crit may or may not have mattered. But as you can see now, Milikis is going to make a very smart read in terms of the Jolteon potentially going for a Volt Switch here, and does make that play, countering that, and now gets a free recover off, which is also really good. But now it goes ahead and sacks off the Porygon too, which I'm very interested by that. I guess he felt like he really didn't needed it anymore, which kind of made sense, but I don't know. But in comes the Dragon Ball, which does reveal to be Life Orb in this matchup here. In comes the Rotom-Mow. And now this Athena is very much pressured in this matchup. In comes the Clefairy. Unfortunate miss right there with the Leaf Storm. But it does let in the Metagross back in for free as he's going to get his rocks up there. And now Metagross gets to pretty much click a move here. Is he actually just chooses to click the Reflect here? Very interesting play on his end. Is he actually clicks Thunder Punch there? And now actually stays in, takes the Specs hit right there, which I had no for a fact that was Specs Jolteon right there. Metagross was obviously really bulky. Makes the interesting switch out here to switch into Pablo, which I'm a little interested by, but I guess he wanted to keep Metagross around just in case for Reflect, and also the chance to kind of check certain things on his team, which makes sense. Now the Gross comes in, it can click Meteor Mash pretty much for free in this turn right now, and with the Meteor Mash chip right here, he actually is enough to kill off the Corviknight, which is really good now. But now he's in a very tough situation here. He actually goes into Zuko. Zuko obviously being immune. And there's the reveal of Sneak. Sneak kind of common there. He goes for the Psycho Cut. He does sack off the Arcanine, which is a smart play. That way the Monologue can't get any boost. He goes into the Mamoswine, obviously to sack it off for damage, and the one thing goes down. Now, I'm actually quite I guess it didn't really matter, but in comes this. He makes the smart play in U-turn right there, because U-turn actually was pretty much, I believe, in role of that. This Milotic is actually going to be faster than this Rotom, which was really good speed creeping by a Sorrow right there, and he's going to pull a double down here. But now we get into the play of Gallade versus Dragapult here. And I actually kind of looked up some calcing myself here. And if he's no HP invested, and that's Jolly, Glade, that at the range that thing was at, Glade did not kill. It was adamant. It may have been a roll, but he would have to get the high roll right there. And U-turn, even if it was timid, I think it wasn't. I'm pretty sure, but I believe it was. Timid Pult would have lived the hit. Would have lived the hit. If he was banded Pult, if he was physical Pult, he would not have lived the hit. If he was, again, it just really would have came down to that play right there. U-turn probably also could have still been a roll, but I think the roll was heavily in Melika's favor to get the kill. So I think regardless, the U-turn play was there. I do think in Sorrow's prep, he pretty much would show off that he did not have Flamethrower for the Metagross. If he had the Flamethrower for Metagross, I think this game is a completely different story, and he could actually have a chance to win this. Or put this in positioning to where he can do something right here. As you are going to see, he's actually going to be slower, and he actually could have gotten the KO right there with Flamethrower. I also would have saw Soft Body right there, and Soft Boil right there. But in comes this Gallade, and now Gallade with a Reflect Up is unfortunately not going to kill due to the bulk of Metagross. And with that, Milikus is going to pick up a very, really good 2-0 win for him right there. So in one match, we saw a potential good way to set up and win, and then in this one, we just saw a very back and forth, played heavy matchup here, based on some really good predictions, some really unfortunate predictions. And I want you guys to know in the comment section below which one did you think was your win. I know that Gear and all I'm gonna gear everyone else, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, our game was number one." I know you guys are gonna do that. That's fine if you want to do that. But also, just let me guys know in the comment section below which match was your match of the week. For me, I am going to declare for the national decks that this was my game of the week. I think Milikus and Sorrow's game was so good, so back and forth, so competitive heavy. It was a very back and forth. You didn't know who was going to win the game right there. Again, I think if the Clefairy had Flamethrower right there, I think there could have been a potential